Hello and welcome to our channel. We aim to bring you fully up to speed on your obligations when flying a drone or model aircraft, so please remember to hit the like button, subscribe for notifications on new content, and leave a comment to contact us. Here are the 37 rules for flying drones or model aircraft, and the following guidance sets out the framework published by the UK Civil Aviation Authority. 1. You're responsible for flying safely whenever you fly. You could be fined for breaking the law when flying your drone or model aircraft. In the most serious cases, you could be sent to prison. 2. Always keep your drone or model aircraft in direct sight and make sure you have a full view of the surrounding airspace. You must be sure that you can spot any nearby hazards in the air or on the ground and avoid collisions. 3. Fly below 120 meters. Flying below the legal height limit of 120 meters will reduce the risk of coming across other aircraft, which normally fly higher than this, and always look and listen out for other aircraft that may be flying below 120 meters, such as air ambulances, police helicopters, and low-flying military aircraft. 4. Do not fly closer to people than 50 meters. This includes people in buildings and transport, including cars, lorries, trains, and boats. The rule on minimum distances to people is different when flying small drones and model aircraft that are below 250 grams, or in C0 or C1 class. If you're flying a drone or model aircraft that's lighter than 250 grams or is C0 class, you can fly closer to people than 50 meters and you can fly over them. 5. Never fly over people who are crowded together. A crowd is any group of people who cannot move away quickly because of the number of other people around them. Never fly over people who are crowded together, no matter what size of drone or model aircraft you have. 6. Keep at least 150 meters away from residential, recreational, commercial, and industrial areas. 150 meters is the minimum distance, so be prepared to increase the distance if you need to do that to fly safely. You can fly small drones and model aircraft that are lighter than 250 grams, or C0 or C1 class, in residential, recreational, commercial and industrial areas, but remember, you must always fly safely. 7. Stay well away from airports, airfields, spaceports, and aircraft. Warning: if you endanger the safety of an aircraft, you could go to prison for 5 years. Never fly in this zone unless you have permission from the airport, airfield, or spaceport. The zone is in place to avoid any collisions with aircraft or spacecraft at or near the site. Some smaller airfields do not have an FRZ, but you still must not fly on or near these airfields where you could pose a danger to the safety of aircraft. 8. Follow any flying restrictions and check for hazards. Always check for restrictions and hazards before you fly. Flying may be restricted around some sites, such as prisons, military ranges, royal palaces, and government buildings. 9. Get the right authorization before flying outside this code, as this code covers flying in the open A1 and A3 categories, so if you want to fly outside the rules in this code, you must first get the correct authorization. 10. Make sure you know what your drone or model aircraft can and cannot do. Key points to know are: how far your drone or model aircraft can fly from you before it loses signal. How long your drone or model aircraft can fly before running low on power or fuel. 11. Make sure your drone or model aircraft is fit to fly. check fuel and battery levels, and check any built-in software is up to date. 12. Never drop anything from your drone or model aircraft while it's flying. 13. Never carry any dangerous cargo on your drone or model aircraft. You must never carry any cargo on your drone or model aircraft that could be dangerous to people, property, or the environment if there was an accident. 14. Make sure any equipment is secure. If you plan to carry any equipment on your drone or model aircraft, you must not go over the maximum takeoff mass. This is the maximum safe weight your drone or model aircraft can take off and fly with. 15. Do not fly if the weather could affect your flight. Some of the things to look out for are strong winds, rain or other water, snow and cold weather, fog, glare, cold or wet weather. 16. Make sure you're fit and safe to fly. Do not drink and fly. You must not fly when under the influence of alcohol. Alcohol will seriously affect your judgment and ability. 17. Take action quickly and safely if the situation in the air or on the ground changes. Always be ready to land your drone or model aircraft or reduce your flying height and wait until it is safe to fly again. 18. Report any dangerous incidents, near misses or suspicious activity. If you witness or are involved in a serious incident or near miss involving a drone or model aircraft, you must report the incident to the Civil Aviation Authority. 19. Make sure you have the appropriate insurance. The insurance you need depends on the size of your drone or model aircraft and what you use it for. 20. Respect other people and their privacy. If your drone or model aircraft is fitted with a camera or listening device, you must respect other people's privacy whenever you use them. 21. Make sure you know what your camera can do and the kind of images it can take, as knowing this will help to reduce the risk of taking photos or recording videos that invade privacy. 22. Make sure you can be clearly seen when you're out flying. This means people will know who's responsible for your drone or model aircraft. 23. Let people know before you start recording or taking pictures. In some cases, this will be easy. 24. Think before sharing photos and videos. Avoid sharing anything that could be unfair or harmful to anyone. 25. Keep photos and videos secure. Store images safely. Delete anything you don't need. 26. You must pass the CAA official online theory test to get a flyer ID. 27. You must pass the theory test to renew your flyer ID every 5 years, as your flyer ID will last for up to 5 years unless you took your last test under the previous regulations. That flyer ID will last for only 3 years. You can check when your ID expires in the My Registration area. 28. Always fly safely and legally. Following the points in this code will help you to do this. 29. The person or organization that's responsible for a drone or model aircraft that requires an operator ID must register to get an operator ID. 30. Label all your drones or model aircraft with your operator ID. You must label every drone or model aircraft you're responsible for, and you can use the same operator ID for every aircraft. 31. Always make sure that anyone flying your drone or model aircraft has appropriate authorization, such as a valid flyer ID, unless if your drone or model aircraft is below 250 grams or C0 class. The person flying it does not need a flyer ID. 32. Set out what you expect from anyone who'll fly your drone or model aircraft and what you'll be responsible for yourself. if anyone else will fly a drone or model aircraft you're responsible for. You must tell them to fly safely and follow this code when they fly, to follow the manufacturer's instructions for flying, what you'll be responsible for, such as keeping any built-in software up to date, what you expect them to do, especially to do with flying and maintaining your aircraft. 33. Maintain your drone or model aircraft so that it's safe to fly. This includes following the manufacturer's instructions on maintenance and keeping any built-in software up to date. 34. You must renew your operator ID every year. Warning: it is a legal requirement to keep your operator ID registration details up to date. 35. Flying with Follow Me mode active. You do not have to keep your drone or model aircraft in direct sight when Follow Me mode is active and set to follow within 50 meters of you, although you must still follow all of the other points. 36. Height limits for model gliders up to 10 kilograms. The maximum height for model gliders is up to 120 meters above the height you're standing at rather than above the ground level directly below it. 37. Flying over very tall structures. If the person or organization responsible for a very tall structure over 105 meters asks you to carry out a task related to their structure, you're allowed to fly higher than 120 meters. So, there you have it. All the rules as written in the guidance. Thank you for watching the channel and hope you found this informative and helpful. All that's left for you to do now is fly responsibly, enjoy the hobby, and pass on the information you've learnt to others. Remember, hit the like button, subscribe for new content, and leave a comment below to shape the future of this channel going forwards.